Hey everyone, welcome to How Ines Rolls. We're in the kitchen today and I'm going to be showing you what we're having for lunch. Paul's going to be joining me because he's grilling today. I'm going to be making Parmesan Potato Stackers. So we need to get started. Paul, like I said, will be joining us, but I wanted to show you what I did to get started for this recipe. You're gonna need about 8 to 10 of these potatoes. Now the recipe called for the golden ones, so if you don't have the golden ones like me, I'm just using what I have. So I am going to start getting ready, but also for this recipe, I'm gonna be using my handy dandy mandolin. So if you don't have that, just know you're gonna be cutting very, very thin. So let me show you what we're doing. To get started, I'm gonna be putting the seasonings just in a little bowl, a little cup. You're gonna need a teaspoon of thyme, but I'm gonna use our veggie rub because it has a lot of different flavors in there. So, you know, be creative. You could use whatever you'd like, I'm sure. And then we're going to need some garlic. So these are gonna be really, really flavorful with all of these spices. So we're gonna put in just a teaspoon of garlic powder. And then we're gonna add some Parmesan cheese. So I have some of this, and it's not really like a ton. Now I just need a couple of tablespoons, but I think I'm gonna just use the rest of this. So it's like maybe 3 tablespoons. So I'm gonna just add that into the potatoes when it's ready to do that. Plus I need to melt down 3 tablespoons of butter. So you can see all of this is gonna be ready to go because when I start slicing those potatoes with the mandolin, they're gonna start turning, right? They're gonna oxidize a little bit. So I wanna hurry up and get everything done because we're gonna be coating all of these thinly sliced potatoes. And they're a little bit fancy, so I can't wait to get going on them. So, but first I wanna show you what we're doing, what Paul's doing right now. Okay, so Paul is getting the Traeger ready. He's just getting some of the pellets. And they're gonna go into the grill right over here on the side.
The hopper.
The hopper, yes. And how long will it take to get to the temperature you need it to be?
Maybe 15 minutes or so.
Okay. Well, and then I can show them what we did yesterday to prep the meat. Okay, so we are with Paul getting ready to grill and prep a London broil. That London broil was on sale in my Vaughn's haul. It was a good price. So Paul, what are we doing to it?
We're gonna try a new rub. It's the Traeger Blackened Saskatchewan rub.
Saskatchewan. That's like on Grown Ups, huh?
Saskatoon?
Comment below if you know what we're talking about. And watching Grown Ups is hilarious.
Yes. So I've heard a lot of good things about this rub.
Okay, so this is the day before, right? We're gonna grill this tomorrow.
That is correct.
So is there any problems with putting a rub on it the day before?
So there's a couple of schools of thought about it. So short answer, nah, you're probably fine. But if there's a lot of salt content, it can tend to pull a lot of moisture out of the meat. And I think we're fine.
So what is this one made with? It looks like pepper.
It's salt, spices, garlic, and sunflower oil, citric acid.
Oh.
So.
All right. So you're gonna do both sides.
I'm gonna do both sides.
And then put it in the fridge.
And put it in the fridge, and then when I pull it out tomorrow, it will be ready to grill.
Sounds good. I can't wait. It's practically ready to go. So we're just getting that the grill just nice and heated, and we'll put it on. It'll pay off in flavor because Paul put in the extra effort the night before. So another thing that I did was grease a muffin tin with butter. Yeah, it's not my favorite thing to touch butter, but at least it washed off pretty easy. My big bowl and a mandolin. Now this is one thing that has been pretty useful in the kitchen if you're thinking about it and you love potatoes. You're gonna use this or a lot more than you thought you would. So I don't know if I told you guys the story really quick. I was teaching some cooking classes with the Boy Scouts, and one of the scouting classes that I had to do was like different kitchen tools kind of thing. And my son, my oldest son, was able to say this was a mandolin. He's been helpful in the kitchen. So we're just gonna put that, yeah. So, oh, and if you have one of these, it's gonna be on the 1/16 cut. So, let's get going. I like cutting my edges off first. And then this mandolin has a little like catcher. It's got like little steel bars in it. Be careful. And actually be careful of the whole thing because this is one huge razor. So if you don't have a mandolin, I want to show you how thin it is. Think almost potato chips. So this is going to be nice and thin. They're going to cook evenly, hopefully, but it won't take too much. So when they're all stacked on top, it'll be even so pretty too. So let's do this. Okay, so Paul, the grill master, he is gonna just put this. So it's been overnight. The thing I was worried about is that it would like start to break apart, I guess, but no, not with the rub. If it had more acidity on there, right, it would do that?
Maybe. I know a lot of people will marinate London broils overnight, but it depends on what kind of marinade they're using.
So what temperature do you have this at?
325 right now.
325, and how long do you think it will cook?
It's probably going to take thicker, and it's indirect heat, so it's probably going to be at least an hour and a half.
Okay. So Paul just told me that it's an hour and a half, but that's such a faux pas to people who cook London broil because they like to eat them more red because it's softer that way. But our family, we're more well medium, so medium well, if not more on the well side. So, shh, don't tell anybody.
And low and slow will make it just fine tender-wise.
Okay, so low and slow, he says. Okay, so now we're going to put together the potatoes with all of the yumminess. So now we're mixing. You can see it's made lots of these little potato chips, which took a few minutes. So plan ahead. Okay, so I'm going to put in the 3 tablespoons of butter, and then our seasonings, and then some salt and pepper. And pretty generous amounts of pepper as well. And then the Parmesan cheese, you guys. So I'm just gonna use the rest of this because I have no plans for anything else. And in the video, the person was like, yeah, I can't do that. So I'm just gonna get a spoon and mix it in. You want all of the pieces to be coated with all of this goodness all over them. So I'll bring you closer, okay? So everything is nicely coated, and I have my muffin pan now here. So just get stacks. You're gonna stack them. So you guys, this is a little bit of a process, but it's gonna be good. And it smells already so delicious. All right, so I just finished. I left some still in the bowl. They were starting to oxidize, some of them. So I just put, you know what, it did take 8. I made 8, and I probably could have gotten away with 7. So just some kind of keep that in mind. Maybe the gold ones are a lot smaller, but I just used the russet. So you guys, these are smelling so good, and I need to get into the oven at 375, and they're gonna bake for 55 to 60 minutes, but I am gonna check them periodically. So I'll report after. You do a little check.
Yep.
That looks good. Little flip. That's looking really good.
Smells good too.
Yeah. Another thing that I'm working on is some roasted broccoli, which is right behind me, and I'll show you. So I just put some little oil, some salt and pepper, and I actually have some lemon pepper that doesn't have salt, so I thought I'd add that in there. So I'll roast that at 425 for 15 minutes, And then when it comes out, I'll put fresh lemon juice on it, or the lemon juice in the bottle. Izzy, are you being a helper?
Yes.
Yes, he is helping to set the table. We're gonna have a nice Sunday lunch, right?
Yep.
Perfect. And it can be for any dinner too. So what do you think we need now?
Just to eat.
What about forks?
Oh yeah, forks.
Okay. Yes, he remembered that what was it that we do that's a little different?
We do 2 small ones.
2 small ones for me and Ezzy. We like eating with smaller forks. And then we give the big ones to the bigger boys. Thank you. I just pulled these out of the oven. I'd been checking them after 30 minutes. And while 30 minutes seemed okay, I did cook them for 50 minutes, not the full time. And I put it on the bottom rack. So you won't get the extra like crispy burntness if it's on the lower rack. So I'm gonna let those sit there for about 5 minutes and then I'll start taking them out and dishing them up. But you guys, they are gonna look so cute, like almost florets. If they come out in one piece. Oh, please let them come out in one piece. All right, everything's starting to come out. So I just got the broccoli out. So I'm just going to give it a good cover of lemon juice and then just kind of toss it around. This makes it super yummy. And honestly, I've not always been still not, a huge cooked broccoli person. I just know when I eat it, I go, it's good for my health. It's good for my health. So I'll try to eat it first. But actually having it with the lemon like this and like the crispy edges helps it to taste better to me. So I think now we'll start putting this on we'll start dishing up and start taking those potatoes out. All right, so Paul has just brought in the steak. So we're just going to let it rest here. Ooh, that looks so good. All right, let it rest for a few minutes and then it's time for lunch. Look at that. Steak looks so good. Mm-hmm. And that knife is cutting like butter, huh?
Yep.
And you got that from Amazon?
I did. It's a Cast King.
Okay.
And then I bought that one and they sent me this one for free.
Oh, nice. That's awesome.
A carving knife and a fillet knife.
Looking good. All right, you guys, look at this lunch. It's like heavy, but we're gonna start dishing up. Can't wait. It smells good, looks good. Oh my gosh, don't those look like little flowers? And it's time to eat. Well, that lunch was so good, so delicious, and I'm hoping Paul makes the steaks that way from here on out. You guys, I hope that you liked the video today. Give it a thumbs up if it's something you think you could try. Those potatoes were delicious, and you know, it did take some time and some prep, but well worth it. So I'm gonna put the recipe below, and so that way you can make it yourself as well. So have a wonderful day, rollers. Stick around. You just never know what I'll be rolling out next. Bye, everyone.